Hey there, it is Matt, and I'm back with my update for March the 7th. So, I have five main things to talk about. I have a list here. So, if you're wondering why I'm looking down, that's why. I'm feeling very frustrated lately, and I've taken five actions to fix these frustrations. So, basically, I am not going to show any proof or revenue screenshots, but I did about 8.5 million in revenue last month. Not a great margin, to be honest, and most of that was selling leads. I have two main categories of business. Well, three. I have one, which is like a paid consulting, they just pay a monthly retainer. Two is like I basically growth partner or take a percentage of people's business, especially an affiliate and info and sometimes agency, depending on what type of agency is. And the consulting for a retainer is a great way to identify people that I want to do the growth partner with. And it's kind of like a natural feeder. Once you kind of fix them up a bit for the growth partner, then you can kind of get them into like the percentage where now they can take advantage of it. Because I'm not going to do the percentage of thing where if I can't make at least 25 to 30K per month, and based on my pricing and the percentage I charge, you kind of got to be like 200, 300K minimum to even do that, right? So that is about 500 of my revenue, to be honest, something like that. And the rest is from selling leads to insurance, to mortgage, to debt relief, to loans, and that kind of stuff. So I'm feeling kind of discouraged here and frustrated, but I have taken those five steps to fix that. And if you're wondering why I even bother with that other stuff, if like $8 million in revenue selling leads, one, I have partners in that $8 million. It's not all mine. Like less than 20% of that is profit too, and even that is still not mine. So 1.6 million a month profit, a little bit less than that, divided by however many partners I have. I'm not really gonna go into that. But the reason I do that other stuff is because I make about 30 to 40% of my actual personal income that way. But also working with all these companies who are pretty successful, you get a bunch of ideas that you can actually implement into the lead selling and the lead generation business. So I'm not gonna kind of quit it because it's 30 to 40% of my income. I can't really afford to lose that with the way I spend money. And then also, you get a lot of good ideas, and I kind of just like it. But the problem is that I'm spending a lot of time on calls. So I have about 85 hours of calls a month from the consulting type thing from the growth partner, which is fine. That's like 20-ish hours of calls per week. That is, if you do it Monday to Friday, 4 hours of calls, there's nothing wrong with that. I'll suck it up. I'll sacrifice. But the problem with it is I've not managed my time and set up my calendar very well at all. So it's how you have a meeting every hour, but it ends after 30 to 35 minutes if it goes late, but you can't really do anything for the 25 minutes until the next meeting start. I've taken steps to do that. So on my calendar, basically, all of my calls from now on, they can only book calls on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And that's just wide open. Like from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. realistically, they can book a call. And then they can't Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So at least every second day, I'll actually get some work done. That's basically step one that I've taken. Step two in that one is I've also kind of batched it. So there's only going to be a certain times of the day where they can, and it's going to be striking a good balance between letting them actually book a call whenever they want, because there's a lot of different time zones in there, and also not doing that situation where I have a call every hour and then it's just I never get anything done. It's the Calendly is going to solve a lot of that. The next thing is I just dump I have 10 employees. Depending on how you count employees, I might have 25, but a lot of those are contractors who do one thing, but they're full-time contractors that work for me. So I just dump a lot of tasks, 50, 100 tasks per day on my team, and I don't really explain it that well. I guess that's one of my constraints as a person. So basically, I've been recording 10 looms, or going forward especially. I'm going to be recording a loom 2 to 5 minutes for every single one of the employees before I go to bed, right after I make some of my videos because I do a lot of these question and answer videos on my one channel right before bed that I just see throughout the day. I write them down and then I make a 1 to 5 minute video. So I'll make those looms right then, and that will provide a lot of context and clarity. I really always used to do this, especially when I had a big agency and I just have fallen out of it. One of the dumbest things you can do is stop doing things that actually work. And by that logic, I'm one of the dumbest people in the world because I constantly do that. Terrible. So, just a loom of what to do. So, basically, what I want to do is if I have a huge list, I'm just going to break it down to all my employees, make everyone do 5 things per day. If you can get 5 things per day done, that's quite enough. One big thing and 4 little things type thing, and just do a loom to basically do that. Once I get like in the zone, I'm going to say, okay, I need you to do these 5 things before noon. And then I'm going to block out the time 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. and like make another one. So I get like 2 days worth of stuff done per employee in one day, but one step at a time. Next thing is I bought some more yellow legal notepads, far superior to any form of productivity app or calendar or anything. Just something about it and just makes your life better. Even if I have it on my Apple Notes or like Microsoft To Do, I just don't actually do it properly in comparison to the yellow notepad where you just kind of scratch it off like a psychopath and it just gives you that, I actually did something. The next thing I'm going to be doing is actually doing some standards. I make a lot of money for someone who has kind of low standards for how I work and my focus level. I don't know what your opinion of me is if you watch this, if you found out about me for a while ago, or like if you think I'm a robot like a lot of people do. But I actually struggle with a lot of that stuff as well. And I'm going to make the standard of basically, I am not going to go to bed until I am done my list, writing this down. I think if you just had that habit, like you do a lot of good things during the day. I am not going to bed, whether that's 1 a.m. or 8 p.m. or 5 a.m., like without doing my absolute entire list. Where if you like, it's a kind of a mindset thing. If you just, oh, well, these are things I would be nice to get done today versus like, this is my to-do list. I think that's a very, very important distinction. And I've had it kind of easy for the last, since July 2023. I've taken it easy for my standard, at least. I used to be an absolute menace where I would do literally a 50-part to-do list every day, just rip caffeine and just get it done. And it's not a sustainable lifestyle, but for a time, you know? And the final thing I'm going to do is I basically divided all my employees into like habits, like what kind, I think I basically made a big spreadsheet of habits and like these are the stuff I need to run this funnel, run the business, that kind of stuff. But I didn't give them any context or order of importance to it. I only did that a couple of days ago. So tomorrow I'm going to start filling in a loom for every one of those things because we actually need the business to operate properly. That would be nice, wouldn't it? And it's just one of those things where if they don't know exactly what I mean, how is it going to operate properly? It's not. There's a spoiler alert. So that's what I'm really focused on now, and I hope these 5 changes ease a lot of my frustration and lackluster results. I think the Calendly and the time thing is going to be very good, and then the notepad, the standards, all of this kind of stuff is going to be good. So I'm basically dedicating my day today to solving all of this thing, especially the habit sheet with the looms, the SOPs, that kind of stuff that I need to operate my business so I can't do it or I don't have to do it. One of the best things you can ask yourself every day, really, is you write down every task you did and you could track it with like the Rise app or something, or just track it normally and say like, okay, who do I train or hire to make it so I don't have to do this anymore? Like that is the magic question if you're a business owner, because you only want to work on the highest leverage things. Brian Tracy, one of my favorite authors, has a rule that he says is the rule of 3. And that says basically no matter what you do during the day, whether that's 10 things or 100 things, just 3 of them will contribute to 90% of the value. It's kind of like a more extreme 80-20 rule. And I found that to be true for me. So for me, it's like making SOPs and trainings, it's doing the YouTube videos, and it's going to be making the systems and the AI tools better that I sell. In addition to that, it'll be like, well, kind of using those same systems and SOPs to basically get my lead buying stuff, more ad creatives, better landing page tests, that kind of stuff. But if you can do those things and you can train people to do what you want in a way that's, let's not sell ourselves short, 100% as good as you could do, and you have AI tools to make it faster, and you have all of the systems and steps in place, and then you're making YouTube videos to get clients and help people and get some good karma, uh, that would be a better use of my time than what I'm currently doing. So hopefully this was valuable, and I'll see you tomorrow.